Payments or anything offered on this project?
No, and there has been no ask for it.
And what's the estimated revenue that's going to go to the tax base here?
So Joe, who's in the community benefits, would be able to give you, he's our CFO, he'll be able to give you all the numbers and data on that regards.
And he could also answer the question about how much contributions have been made to the organization.
So this project, I'm sure he can answer any financial question you have.
All right, very good. Thank you.
Yep, thank you very much.
Site plan's been submitted, correct?
No, nothing's been submitted.
All right, I'm going to go. This is strictly trying to get us through into the zoning process.
Absolutely. So the reason we did this, and there's a lot of misconceptions as to why this is. We knew that there was going to be a meeting on June 16th. We didn't want that meeting to be the first time people had a chance to ask questions. Also, we wanted to make sure that people had time to ask questions, get answers. If there was things that we needed to follow up on, we could do more research and get more answers.
You wanted to make sure people had time during the work day.
We're going to work through that.
Okay.
Understood. At the end of the day, we were trying to accommodate some schedules, and this is what worked. And the idea that I think the group is trying to create another event like this during the evening hours, again, ahead of the June 16th meeting. Okay. The intention of this was to provide as much information as we can to digest, and then be able to come back at another meeting that we can be more refined and more discussed as well. We've learned some things. I've learned some things from some recent neighbors that asked some questions, and we're happy to kind of integrate those into the plans and work through that as well. Mm-hmm. So it's a give and take. We're really trying to work with the residents and understand everyone's concerns, and just collect information.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask you one quick question? So you got a decibel prediction here. Was that made assuming the generators are running or not running?
For what this?
The decibel count, yeah.
That's the range, right? So you can model sound.
With the generators running.
With the generators running would be also in a sound enclosure, right? So you can put equipment outside in a sound enclosure and understand what that decibel would make from that noise.
So just to clarify, with all the generators running, the highest it would get to would be 48 at the property line?
This would be if there was no mitigation at the property line, given the source of noise and the location to the property.
Right.
So sound is come from a noise source and then a distance to that noise source, right? So from where the noise source is to the closest property line,
right,
with no mitigation.
With the generators running, not just
correct. With no mitigation, it would be at that 52 to 56 range.
Okay.
With the mitigations that we're providing, and again, this is a very elementary drawing of what the intention is, and it's very intentional. The tech hall with the noise, the decibel reading of that noise ends up being about 70 at the source.
I guess that's where I'm confused because most generators run at about 100.
Not with sound enclosures.
Well, then it's not at the source.
The sound enclosures are part of the generator.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
So again, that noise at about 70, then the sound wall would be inside of that, and then the intention was to put an earth berm on the outside of that can be naturally landscaped. Again, so you didn't have to stare at a barricade.
Sure.
That would be a natural green buffer at the edge of the property line. So again, the distance of the sound noise to the property line at the closest point, we would be under that 50 decibel level that everyone's kind of asking.
If and when this gets put in, if the nearby homes complain of infrasound issues, what is the plan to correct that?
Again, there's a conditional use with a conditional approval, right? And one of the conditions would be conforming to the sound decibels at the property, right? So if modeling is not accurately done, I'm saying if modeling wasn't accurately done and we're not complying with that conditional use, we would need to mitigate that and correct it.
Okay. All right. And that would be like an enforceable thing by the county, or
any zoning code, any codified ordinance, right?
Okay.
This isn't a by right use; it's a conditional use, so it needs to go through all of the listed conditions and meet those aspects.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to ask one last one, then I'm going to get out of here. As you guys built the massive facility, correct?
We did not.
Do you know off the top of your head? And the reason I'm asking this is from a hazardous materials perspective. Did they do any kind of runoff containment for hazmat, PCBs, or anything like that?
I'm not aware of that. I apologize.
Do you know of anyone that would have that information?
Paul Rentmore, who is over there somewhere.